Who are you? What's your role? And who do you work for?
Hi, my name is Jay Jenkins. I'm the CTO for cloud computing at Akamai.
What do you want to share with us today?
So yesterday, we launched Akamai App Platform. It's a platform that allows you to quickly deploy upstream Kubernetes projects into your Kubernetes cluster.
And what problem does Akamai App Platform solve?
Yeah, well, it solves quite a few problems for those customers that are struggling to implement a Kubernetes which is enterprise ready. Kubernetes itself has become a platform for other platforms, and you tend to need to install many of these other platforms before your developers can start working. App Platform allows you to quickly deploy those upstream projects that are needed in order to support your developers with just a few clicks.
Could you share a bit about the before and after of this announcement?
So, before Akamai App Platform, your users would need to install many of these upstream projects themselves, configuring each of them, connecting each of them together before they could actually start deploying onto these platforms. Perhaps you've created a platform engineering team that's required in order to develop that platform, to take that toil away from those developers. However, that same toil has now been centralized with that platform engineering team. Now you can get that platform ready in a matter of minutes. So whether it's your developers doing those deployments or your platform engineering team that is doing those deployments, they're now bootstrapped and ready to go and ready to deploy. Another thing that has changed is that before, you had to worry about which tools to implement. After, we've actually taken the best tools and provided highly opinionated implementations of each of these tools. But you're able to modify and change those tools according to what you need. So we really want to make sure, in the words of Alan Kay, that we're making the simple things simple and we're making the complex things possible. Another thing is that before, you had to worry about the security of the platform yourself and again, manage those tools in order to implement that security. After, you now have that robust security already installed and ready to go.
Is App Platform open source and part of the CNCF landscape?
App Platform is open source. However, it is not currently part of the CNCF landscape.
What's Akamai's business model?
So Akamai provides the App Platform absolutely free. Because it's based on open source and you can install that anywhere, we didn't feel it was right to charge for that. But what we wanted to make sure is that we removed a lot of the toil for people trying to adopt Kubernetes. So once you install App Platform, the Kubernetes clusters, the storage required, and the high availability systems that are required are in fact charged for. So that is what you're charged for. It's the resources required to run it, the App Platform included.
Who are your main competitors?
I guess the main competitors in this space would be your own internal teams that are doing all of this work themselves. For a lot of large enterprises, they've already done the hard work and created these platforms internally. But if you're just getting started with Kubernetes or just getting started with platform engineering, it's a great, easy way to bootstrap, get started quickly, and get you on your journey.
And what differentiates App Platform from perhaps those, in-house built platforms that some developers might currently be using?
Look, there are obvious benefits for doing it yourself. Perhaps if you have a particular environment that is specialized, it makes sense for you to do a lot of work on that App Platform to make sure that it is keyed more into your needs. However, that does take a lot of work. 5 years of effort have gone into creating the Akamai App Platform for Kubernetes. Instead of doing it yourself, it makes sense to, if you haven't done it already, to use App Platform to accelerate your own journey and get started quickly.
What should we expect next from App Platform and Akamai?
So from App Platform, it is currently in beta. As we move towards GA, we're going to get a lot of feedback from customers in terms of what it is they need, what upstream projects are important to them. Another thing that we're looking at is the extensibility of the platform. So the platform itself is extensible, but we want to make sure that it's easy for developers to integrate the projects that they need in order to create the platform for their developers, or perhaps even have custom applications that they're launching internally that they need to support. For Akamai in general, we're going to focus on distributed computing. So App Platform actually helps with distributed computing because it actually helps get people started with Kubernetes faster. And over time, you'll be able to place these workloads wherever you want around the globe.